Hello and welcome to another episode of Artfully Orange. I'm Vicki Landon, Administrator for Orange County Arts and Cultural Affairs, and I'm here today with Takia LeGrande, who's the owner, the founder, the artistic director for Avalon Dance Company. Takia, thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Vicki.
We're really excited to talk to you as a dance professional in our community. Now, you've lived in Florida in the Metro Orlando area once before, and you've returned back here, but your story does not start there. Your story starts in Philadelphia. So will you tell us a little bit about when you first fell in love with dance and how you knew that you were meant to be on stage?
Absolutely. I grew up outside of West Philadelphia in Delaware County in a small town. And I started my first dance class at the age of 2 or 3. Um, Preschool dance teacher came in teaching weekly dance classes. And at that very young age, I knew I was in love. I absolutely fell in love with the art form.
I love that. So preschool started the sort of
Yeah,
love affair for you. That's incredible. But
absolutely.
I know that you also continued training while you were in high school. Is that right? At a dance
Yes.
studio?
I did, yep. So from that point on, I never stopped moving, never stopped dancing. So I continued my training with the coach of the 76ers dance team, Miss Debbie Appalucci, and was on their junior dance team in high school. So it was fun to be able to be a part of the professional basketball industry as well as competitions. We also had a great opportunity, quite a few times, to compete with Miss Paula Abdul back then. Yes, a really great experience. Yes.
What style of dance are they doing for the 76ers dance team and junior dance team?
So dance team style is more of a like jazz funk, which is like a jazz and hip hop combination style.
Very cool. Do you still remember any of those moves or routines? Is there one like burned into your brain from when you were a teenager?
A little bit, yes, for sure.
So then you decided to move to Central Florida to pursue your educational career at Valencia. Is that right?
That's right, but there's one little step prior to that. I actually originally came to Orlando. I auditioned for a girl band. So not only was I a dancer, but I was a singer as well, and was found by someone who just heard me singing. And there was this little group called In Sync. Some of the same artists and producers are putting together like a female version of In Sync called Cassiopeia. And I auditioned right on the Disney property and made the band right away. So I spent my senior year of high school actually doing virtual classes. So traveling back and forth between Orlando and Philadelphia, finishing my senior year doing choreography, recording in the local recording studio with Johnny Wright, and just had a really exciting experience when I was doing that.
I love that. What a cool chapter in like Central Florida's performing arts and entertainment history. And I love that you were
Yes.
part of that. But you weren't like just performing in Cassiopeia because you did choreography as well, right? For that.
I did. Yep, I did all of our stage setting, all of our choreography, took part in setting like our image and costuming and all of our photo shoots and what was our cover going to look like for our album and things like that. So I was able to be a part of the entire creative experience.
Is that where you think you sort of felt the pivot in your career from like dancer, performer, performer, performer to maybe artistic direction and creative direction? Is that like where that pivot happened?
Absolutely, absolutely.
In what ways do you think being an artistic director of a dance company or a studio is different from being a performer? Like what are the extra lifts and considerations you have to take into place?
Timing, placement, costuming. There's still the same level of like excitement and anxiety prior to you going on stage or those lights coming on, but it's in a different sense. It's sitting on that headset in the background, ensuring that everything is set prior to those curtains opening.
Absolutely. Is that like a different kind of a rush than being on stage waiting for the curtain to open on you?
It is for sure. Yes.
Because at that point, I think that's when you became the artistic director of, there was a dance program at a health plex, right? And that's back in Pennsylvania. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes. Yes. So after my era with the girl band, I decided that that was not necessarily the path that I wanted to take. So I then decided to go to school. So I went to Valencia College for Performing Arts. And after I completed my programming, I decided to go back home to Philadelphia. Spent 1 year there. The cold weather just was not for me. But during that year, I had the opportunity to create and direct a performing arts program at the Healthplex, which was the training facility for the 76ers. Um, and also run by a healthcare system there, Crozier Keystone Healthcare System. And they entrusted in me in creating this performing arts program.
Oh my gosh. Are they still implementing that program today?
Unfortunately, they're not. The facility actually is closed.
Oh no.
I know, but the program lasted a little bit longer after I left.
Okay, well, that's great. Tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about that program. Like, what sort of elements were involved?
Yeah, so we offered classes for elementary school all the way through our aging 65 plus community. Fun classes, fitness based dance classes. So anything to get their heart rates going, get them moving, hand eye coordination, jogging memory. So utilizing a lot of Zumba style or line dance skills.
That's fantastic. What a cool intersection of just, meeting people where they are and seeing what their skill is, and then using all of this expertise that you have built in this field of dance to apply those tools. Like, I imagine when you think back on that work, it's a lot of thinking back on like doing choreography, or even in the Cassiopeia time frame, going, I know what so and so is good at, or where so and so's strengths are, and let's build a program to help elevate them, right?
Absolutely.
Do you
You're
see that
correct.
play out now in your work with Avalon Dance Company?
I do. I really do. So I after I transitioned back to Orlando, I was in the wedding industry for quite some time, and I actually was choreographing first dances, as well as father-daughter
I
dances,
did not know this was a
flash
separate
mob.
business. Wait, this is fascinating.
Oh, yes, yeah. And the wedding industry is a huge part of tourism here in Orlando. People come from all over to get married here. And dance, performing arts, music, that is a huge part of your wedding, your reception. So I was able to tap into that industry for a few years. And I still do it. Sometimes people will reach out and ask for me to choreograph their dances. But that was kind of my segue into opening my own dance company. I was choreographing a dance for a company that lived in Avalon Park, and they reached out to me and they said, you're so good at what you do. You've got to open your own dance company. So the rest is history. I opened a company, Avalon Dance. We are not in the downtown Avalon Park area anymore. We're on East Colonial, right off of Avalon Park Boulevard. Um, but really and truly, all of those skills I'm able to utilize in my current position as the owner and artistic director of Avalon Dance. Setting, staging, even the whole wedding industry foundation, being able to utilize those skills, they come up daily in running the dance studio.
I know that the dance studio you all have performed for like the Orlando Magic, for UCF Athletics, for the Gaylord Palms, Dr. Phillips Center. When you think back on like this book of business and all the different dances that you've put together, is there one that was like a really wild experience? And then how does it compare to like the most wild wedding dance you had to choreograph?
Oh, that's a great question. We have had so many fun routines. We try every year. I try to set a theme for the choreography and what we're going to bring out. This year, our theme was 70s. So we did an entire tribute to the 70s genre. So my girls are in full sequin bodysuits, bell bottoms, big afro puffs, big hoops. Um, So I think that, I mean, every year I say that this is my favorite year. And right now, this is my favorite year. I mean, we've also done this year a tribute to Prince. So we with the purple velvet bodysuits and like Purple Rain. And, the most exciting part of this is the dance history education that I'm providing for young adults.
Absolutely, because they might not have been
Yes.
around to experience the dance styles of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s,
Not at
even.
all. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, a lot of research, a lot of questions. Last year we did a tribute to Whitney Houston. So understanding like her journey and her music and her style, the kids have learned so much. Every year there's something new and something exciting.
Well, speaking of that, I know you are also the head choreographer and the artistic director for Claire and the Chocolate Nutcracker, which of course is funded through the county and performs every year downtown in
Yes.
Orlando. What's really unique about Claire and the Chocolate Nutcracker is just the sheer variety of dance styles. That of course there's ballet, but it is not just ballet. And so I'm
No.
thinking about what it means to be able to tie in all these different dance styles for the different groups. You have, seniors in your community dancing in Claire and the Chocolate Nutcracker, and you have littles dancing in Claire and the Chocolate Nutcracker, and how this ties back to your own choreography, the work that you did with Crozier Keystone. And then does all of this come up to play? Like, what is the main thesis? Because a lot of people don't know that you are also an author of a
I
children's book
am.
called You Can Dance Too. Has that sort of
Yes.
been your mantra throughout your careers? Like, no matter your age, your style, you can do it and I'll show you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. People come to me all the time and they're like, oh, but I have two left feet. I do believe that everyone can dance, no matter your background, your age, your height. Put the music on and just start moving. And guess what? You're dancing. That's it.
Is that what inspired you to write the children's book? Like, what was because a lot of people think about writing a book, but then what is it that made you decide, nope, I'm going to do it?
Yeah, so it's crazy because when I decided to open the dance studio, I said, okay, I want to teach dance. That's it. I'm just going to teach dance, but so much more comes to along with being a dance teacher. I'm a mentor. I'm guiding young women, especially. In this it can be a very competitive industry. And we deal a lot with body image and not feeling good enough, going through an audition process and maybe not making the group or the team or the role that you really wanted to go out for. And so, yes, the book is a dance book, but there's a hidden message in that story, and it's about body image and feeling confident. And no matter what the skin is that God has blessed you with, you can do it. You can get on the dance floor, and even if it's not dance, gymnastics, soccer, STEM programs, whatever it is, you can definitely do it. Just get out there, put your right foot, then your left foot, and you just keep on going.
I love it. Put on the music, move your body, and you're dancing left foot, right
That's
foot,
it.
keep on going.
Yeah.
Dakia, where can people connect with you or with Avalon Dance online, social? What's the best way to find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as Claire and the chocolate nutcracker, I do want to thank Miss Page. She is giving me the opportunity to really take the show into a really creative direction. Claire travels all over. She visits India and she goes to the Caribbean. And so being able to bring in and show all of those different art forms is really and truly, it's been a blessing to work with this organization. So I am grateful to Ms. Page and Orlando Community Arts. So you can find me either through the Claire and the Chocolate Nutcracker website or on the Avalon Dance website, which is avalondance.net, and our social media through Instagram, Facebook, everything is listed under Avalon Dance.
Awesome. Takia, thank you so much for spending time with us today. I hope everybody who watches this interview carries forward this mission and maybe gets inspired to dance a little bit today, even if nobody's watching.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vicki.
And thank you for joining us on this edition of Artfully Orange.